The Indian Air Force has carried out yet another successful test firing of air-launched BrahMos supersonic cruise missile from Sukhoi Su-30 MKI fighter. The BrahMos was launched to target a ship in the Bay of Bengal around 4,000 kilometers or 2,485 miles away. It was the longest range test of the fighter-missile combo conducted by the Indian Air Force. This is the second time that the missile has been successfully test-fired from an aircraft. The jet used in the test was from the Thanjavur-based Tiger Shark Squadron, and it took off from Halwara Air Base in Punjab. It's important to note that the IAF Squadron of Thanjavur is a specialist squadron that has a maritime role. The squadron, also known as the Dominator of the Indian Ocean region, is armed with air-launched BrahMos. To cover the distance, the Su-30 MKI needed multiple refueling by Ilyushin-78 mid-air refueling aircraft. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how Sukhoi 30 MKI, armed with BrahMos A, hitting a target 4,000 kilometers or 2,485 miles away is terrible news for China. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. The timing of this test is significant. It comes at a time when India and China are at loggerheads and are involved in a bitter dispute. The two countries have held discussions at different levels, but tensions have simmered since then. China has stepped up its underwater forays in the Indian Ocean region, IOR, especially in the Bay of Bengal. The frequency of submarine patrols by the PLAN, or People's Liberation Army Navy, has increased significantly in the last few years. Chinese ships have often been spotted gathering information in the Bay of Bengal. This indicates that China wants to expand its sphere of influence in these waters, like it's done in the South China Sea. People's Liberation Army Navy is expanding fast, and its warships are getting bigger. Its latest class of destroyer, Type 055, is an example of China's growing naval might. Sukhoi Su-30 MKI is the backbone of the Indian Air Force, and it has around 200 of these. It's a twin-seater, twin-engine fighter, developed by Russian aircraft maker Sukhoi and licensed built in India by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL. It has abilities similar to the Sukhoi 35, with which it shares many features and components. Su-30 MKI is a multi-role fighter capable of executing both air-to-air and air-to-land attack missions. It's interesting to note that the MKI version of Su-30 includes Israeli and French avionics. For example, the aircraft is fitted with a French-made heads-up display system, and Israelis-made electronic warfare system, and an advanced targeting pod. A squadron of Su-30 MKI will consist of 18 fighters. BrahMos is developed jointly by India's Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, and Russia's NPO Mashinostroyenia. It's powered by a ramjet engine. BrahMos is currently considered one of the most deadly cruise missiles in the world. The reason is its unique features. 1. It has a supersonic speed of Mach 3, or 1 kilometer per second, providing very little time to intercept. 2. BrahMos uses a 300 kilogram or 660 pound semi-armor piercing warhead, and also has very high kinetic energy, since kinetic energy is directly proportional to the square of velocity. BrahMos actually has about 9 times the kinetic energy of conventional subsonic missiles like Tomahawk. The combined destructive force of massive warhead and kinetic energy is lethal, even for the biggest surface warships and bunkers. BrahMos has been known to break ships in half in several tests. 3. It can perform S maneuvers in the final stages of flight. The missile basically doesn't move in a straight line, making it very hard to intercept. 4. There are lots of redundancies in the guidance system, right from the INS, GPS, GLONASS, and GAGN, making it hard to jam. 5. The accuracy of around 1 square meter makes it apt for a precision strike on high-value targets. BrahMos A Air is a modified variant of its basic configuration and specifically designed for air launch. It features several design refinements, which include a lighter propulsion system, weight reduction to 5,500 pounds or 2,500 kilograms from 6,600 pounds or 3,000 kilograms, as well as redesigned fins and nose cap. In January 2014, IAF placed an order to HAL for the integration of the BrahMos onto the Su-30 MKI. Though BrahMos A is lighter than the original BrahMos, it's still a heavy missile, and integration with a fighter aircraft was met with many technical challenges, some of which are listed as follows. 1. A key task was to strengthen the Su-30 MKI's airframe, particularly its underbelly weapon station. New hardpoints and structural modifications were required. 2. Since the BrahMos protrudes beyond the Su-30 MKI's air intakes, it was imperative to ascertain that it did not impede the flow of air into the fighter's engines. This was achieved through computational fluid dynamics modeling. 3. New cockpit controls had to be added for pilots so they can use it while launching the BrahMos. On June 25, 2016, a modified Indian Air Force Sukhoi Su-30 MKI aircraft carried a BrahMos A. This was the first time in the world that such a heavyweight supersonic cruise missile was integrated on a fighter aircraft. China's defense budget is approximately 5 times that of India. In the report submitted to Congress annually, the Pentagon has stated, the PRC has the largest navy in the world, with an overall battle force of approximately 350 ships and submarines, including over 130 major surface combatants. In comparison, the U.S. Navy's battle force is approximately 293 ships as of early 2020. Speaking at a press conference, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for China, Chad Spragia, said that China was on course to expand its fleet to 360 vessels by the end of 2020. Viewers may note that in 2019, China had a 335 ship, about 55% larger than in 2005, as per the recent Congressional Research Service report titled China's Naval Modernization: Implications for U.S. Navy Capabilities, Background and Issues for Congress. India can't match China platform to platform and needs asymmetric warfare to take on the Chinese Navy. This is where Sukhoi 30 MKI and BrahMos A combo comes into play, and it will be a major threat. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.